don't know at all.
No, the information officer at Fort Harrison will be available to give you any information that you might need.
Okay, you don't have any idea how many people were in the plane?
No, we don't.
F1 184 from Ohio. I don't know what type of plane that is, and I don't know I know the name of the pilot, but I can't give you that yet. Or the name of the people who are killed. Probably someone in the neighborhood could tell you, but I can't tell you that. And that's about all I can tell you right now. We'll have some more information as soon as we can get the debris away. I think part of the bodies are still in the debris of the houses. Okay.
What will you take from this point on?
Well, we'll secure the area. We have some MPs out from Fort Harrison. Some more air police will be coming down from Bunker Hill and wait and determine who actually will do the accident investigation. I imagine that it will be turned over to Lockburn since the airplane evidently is from there.
Okay. I don't know.
You're on. Okay, go ahead. You just step out with this one when you're talking about procedure when you...
3 persons died this morning when an F-100 training plane crashed into the home of Mr. and Mrs. Harold B. Clark at 7209 Mendenhall Road. Mr. Clark was 67 years old, retired from the Chevrolet body plant here in Indianapolis. His wife, Mr. Clark, and the plane's pilot were all killed in the crash. Several small explosions and a flash of fire when the plane hit were heard in the area. The sister of the woman who was killed lived next door, Mrs. Mabel Lawler. She was sitting in her living room reading the newspaper when it hit. At first, Mrs. Lawler thought that her own house was on fire. She ran outside and yelled for the Clarks to get out of their home. 2 houses away, Mrs. Lona Turner was working on a customer in her beauty shop. She reported the May I have your name?
Lona Turner.
And Mrs. Turner, you work here in the beauty shop, right?
Yes.
And it is 2 houses away from the home that was hit.
Yes.
Can you describe what happened?
Well, I was working on a customer, and I heard the plane. I thought it was extremely low, and there was a terrific explosion, and the house was rattling and shaking, and the fire everywhere.
What did you do at that time?
Well, I was rather stunned. I was sort of paralyzed with fear because I could see the fire, and I thought it was the 2 houses that had been hit in back of me. And I just stood at the window, and I really don't know what I'd done.
What did you see at that time when you looked out the window?
Fire that was higher than the trees. And I ran out because my next-door neighbor is a sister to the lady that was in the house, and she was running toward the fire, screaming, and I was afraid she was going into the fire.
When you excuse me, when you went outside, can you tell us about some of the things that you saw out there then?
Well, there were debris everywhere, and the fire was so, well, it was just every place, it seemed, in the yard of the 2 homes. And I was really so frightened, I think, of just seeing the fire and knowing that what a horrible thing it was, that there was other explosions. And I really am not too sure. I just was rather stunned.
Now, the lady whose sister may have been in the house, can you tell us what she did when you went outside?
Yes, she was screaming for her sister to come out of the house, and of course the fire was so high in every place, and she started running around through the field in joining our homes, and she was screaming for her, and then she ran back and told me that she knew that they were gone, and we were just praying that they were out of the house.
Had you seen the occupants of the house earlier today?
Yes, I saw Mr. Clark come out and go to the mailbox and get his mail.
Do you remember about what time that was?
Well, somewhere around 10 o'clock.
It would be about 2 hours before the plane crashed.
Well, something like that, yes.
Somebody call